压迫还没来呢。可以了，现在也走开。带我们去那个客厅里面看看哥哥。要去洗洗吗你？不动，别动了。
Super。
Hi there.
Hi. Okay. Okay. Now it's go. It's on. Okay. 要进来呀，走开。
Hello there, Langa. How are you? Okay. Okay. Well, good evening. Good evening, Langa. Can you hear me? Yeah? Wow. Did you just have some food? No? Okay. Cool. Wow. Okay. So what can you see on the screen? What's this? Do you know? Yeah, it's a caterpillar. A caterpillar. Wow. Okay. Wow. What's it doing?
Eating.
It is. It is eating. Oh. Oh, wow. Now the caterpillar has made a little house. Oh, it's changing. What do you think it's going to change into? Can you guess? Oh, it's changing. Oh, here it comes. It's like an egg hatching, isn't it? What's it going to become? Can you guess? Is it going to be a moth, maybe? Let's see. Here it comes. Slowly it comes out. Wow. Oh, I can see some antennae. I can see some legs. I think it's an insect. Here it comes. Whoa. It's a moth. You were right. And today we're going to look at moths. Now, last lesson, we looked at butterflies. Do you remember anything about butterflies?
They're thin.
What can you tell me about butterflies?
They're thin.
They're very thin. They have thin bodies, don't they? They have a thin thorax and a thin abdomen. Okay, but what about a moth? Do you think a moth is thin? It's not, is it? No, a moth is quite thick. Now, can you think of any other differences between a moth and a butterfly? What's different about them?
A moth has thick fur.
Yeah, okay. So a moth has lots of thick fur.
And moth usually gray and
Yeah, okay. So a butterfly we usually see in the daytime, but usually a moth we see at nighttime. What happens if you have your bedroom window open and you keep your light on? What happens?
the moth will fly in.
Oh, fly around and around and around the light. That's right. Okay. So we often see moths at nighttime. Wow. Okay. So today's lesson number 7. And today we're going to look at moths. Are you ready? Okay. Let's go. Well, first, I thought we'd look at some different moths. Wow. Look at this one. What color is it?
Yellow, green,
Green, yeah. Whoa. What color's this?
yellow.
Pink and yellow. Yeah, okay. So usually we say moths are grey or brown, but some moths are very colourful too. But unlike a butterfly, it's very, very furry. Whoa. This one has beautiful colours. And this one is grey, but also a little bit pink, isn't it? Wow. Is that a moth?
No.
Well, it looks like a wasp, but actually it's a moth. Oh my gosh, I better move.
But
Looks like that snake wants to eat me. This
today
moth.
we are learning wasps.
Yeah, okay. So these moths look a little bit like a wasp, doesn't it? Okay, so some moths are very clever. They know that birds don't like to eat wasps. So their bodies look like a wasp. Yeah. And because their bodies look like a wasp, then the little birds that usually eat moths don't eat those moths. In fact, we're going to see him again. He's coming again, I think. The one that looks just like a wasp. He's coming in the next 2 pictures, I think. Where is he? Wow, this moth has eye spots. Can you see the eye spots? Here's an eye spot.
2 medium ones.
Yeah, okay. That makes it look like a big animal. It makes it scary. Okay, here it comes. Wow, look at this. It looks just like a wasp, doesn't it? But actually, it's a moth. So moths are very interesting and they're very different. Okay.
But I thought today we are learning wasps.
We are going to learn about wasps next lesson because last lesson we looked at butterflies. And because butterflies and wasps are very similar, I thought we'd look at butterflies. I think we look at moths. Okay. But next lesson we're going to look at wasps.
No,
Sorry?
you You just said butterfly and wasp are similar.
They are similar. They're also different. Okay. I mean, they are quite similar. They're more similar than they are different. Yeah, if we think about it. Anyway, today I've got an interesting question for you. Look at this moth. What can you see on its body?
Eye spots.
You can see big black eye spots. What animal does it look like?
An
To-
owl.
It looks like an owl. Yeah. And the reason is, do you know the reason why it makes itself look like an owl? How does that help the moth?
So the small birds will think it is an owl flying at daytime.
Yeah, they'll think, whoa, here comes a big owl with big eyes coming to eat me. I better fly away. And of course, small birds usually eat moths, but they probably won't eat this moth because it's very clever. Okay, so this we call mimicry.
Why does it look like a owl? But how? But how does it look like an owl?
Oh, well,
No.
it can't change itself. It's not that clever. It's just over many, many millions of years, these moths have slowly changed. They become a little bit different every time, and slowly they've changed to look like this. And of course, when they look like this, they don't get eaten. So it's very easy for them to stay alive and have lots of babies. So moths like this have more and more babies, and so they're very successful. So the moth can't change how it looks. It can't put on new clothes. It can only look like this. But because it looks like this, it really helps the moth not to be eaten. So this moth has eye spots like an owl, but it's also very furry, isn't it? It's got lots of hair or fur, or what looks like fur. Can you see its head? Its head is very, very furry. Okay, so I've got a question for you, Langa. Look at these 4 pictures. Which of these is a moth?
The first one.
Yes.
The third one.
The first one and the third one. And also there's one more.
The second one.
The second one, that's right. Okay. So this one, and this one are all moths, but they look very different.
But the second one looks like a wasp.
It does. The second one looks like a wasp. How about the third one? What does it look like?
Butterfly.
Yeah, but what about the 2 ends? What about
head?
Looks like a snake, doesn't it? Wow. So if I was a spider, do you think I would dare eat this moth? Or would I be scared?
Scared.
Yeah. Okay. So we know birds eat moths, and we know spiders eat moths. Are there any other animals that like to eat moths?
Does praying mantis eat moth?
Yeah, the praying mantis can eat moths. What about an animal that flies at night?
The owl?
An owl? Maybe the owl eats bigger animals like the small birds. Okay, so this animal is usually black and has wings and is a mammal. And when it sleeps upside down.
Oh, a bat.
So moths are bats' favorite food. Bats love to eat moths. Okay, let's look at number 2. It looks like a wasp. Do you think a bird would dare to eat this moth?
No.
Oh, no, because birds know that wasps are dangerous. In fact, birds are a little bit frightened of wasps because wasps can
You can sting it.
sting it, yes, with its stinger. So this moth is very clever. It mimics a wasp. Okay. So here we can see a butterfly and a moth. Look at these 3 sentences. Which ones are true for moths, do you think?
The first one.
The first one, okay. They are usually furry. They are usually furry.
The third one.
The third one, they often come out at night to feed on white flowers.
No. Only the first one.
Only the first one. Okay, let's see if number 1 is true. It is. Okay. Moths, they are usually furry. What about number 2? They often have thin bodies. Do you think that's true or not true? Well, let me help you. It's not true. You're right. Moths often have quite thick bodies. How about number 3? They often come out at night. Is that true? What do you think, Langa? Is that true, number 3?
No, because it said they often come out at night to feed on white flowers.
Okay, let's see. Well, they often come out at night, but do they feed on white flowers? They do. Ah. So they don't always feed on white flowers, but many moths feed on white flowers. Why do they feed on white flowers? Well, because it's nighttime. And at nighttime, red flowers, orange flowers, pink flowers, blue flowers, they're not so easy to see.
But yellow flowers are.
Maybe yellow flowers, yeah. Well, they don't always feed on white flowers. They just often feed on white flowers. They feed on other flowers too, but maybe the white flowers are just a little bit easier to find when the moon is out, because that's all they can use to see. There's no sunlight, there's only moonlight. Yeah, so that's quite interesting, isn't it? But today we're going to ask the question, why are moths so furry? And I think the answer has something to do with them coming out at night. It's quite interesting. Okay. Now we said that most moths are what color? Well, most moths are grey or brown. But some moths, not many, a few moths are very colourful. Look at these moths. Look at these colourful moths. Which is your favourite? I have a favourite. I'll tell you my favourite, but first you tell me your favourite.
Okay. The 7th.
The 7th one? The last one, yeah?
The worst one.
Oh, wow. Why do you like that one so much?
Because I like its body color.
Its body color is very interesting. My favorite is this one, the owl moth. I think it's very, very nice because it looks so pretty, but also looks quite scary. Its big eyes, these big eye spots are staring out. I think it was
Funny.
That's right. Wow. Okay. So we can see that moths sometimes have many beautiful colors. Okay. Well, now it's time to look at the moth life cycle. The life cycle. Can you guess what does that mean? Do you have any ideas? What's a life cycle?
How does it live?
Yeah, how does it live? And how does it change as it gets older? And how does it have babies? Well, how do you think a moth has babies? I mean, mummies have babies and fish lay eggs. But what about a moth? Do you think they have babies or do you think they lay eggs? Yes.
They lay eggs.
They do. They lay many eggs. And here we can see one beautiful, shiny moth egg. It's very, very small. Maybe just 1 millimeter. Very small. Okay. So let's have a look here. Let's watch this video and see what happens. Oh, what happened? What hatched from the egg?
It turned into I think it's changed color.
It has changed color. And is it a moth?
Huh?
Is it a moth already or is it a different kind of animal?
A caterpillar.
It's a caterpillar. So
But it changed its color and it is a little bit furrier.
it is furrier, yeah, because it's grown up a little bit. Let's watch again and see what color it is. Ah, it's kind of clear here, isn't it? It's a clear color.
Neat first.
And now it's a yellow color and it's even furrier. Look how much fur it has. A big furry caterpillar. Okay, let's continue. Now the caterpillar has to grow big and fat. So what's it going to eat?
Leaf.
It's going to eat the leaves. Here it comes. Oh, it's eating the leaves and getting big and fat. Wow. So now the caterpillar is making a little house. Do you know why?
Because
It's making a little house or a cocoon, and it's making that cocoon all around its body because it's going to change.
like a spider web.
It's a little like it makes a little web or a little cocoon around its body to keep it safe because it's going to.
From enemies, like birds.
That's right. Okay.
And ants.
Yes. So
Yeah.
birds and
Birds.
ants might say, "Whoa, there's a big fat caterpillar. I want to eat
Birds.
it."
And lizards.
And lizards too, yeah, and spiders. Yeah. So the caterpillar makes a big cocoon to keep itself safe while it's changing. And what does it change into? Do you know?
Pupa.
A pupa. Let's have a look. Oh, there's the pupa. It's making a pupa. Now
Now it's well, I think
look at the pupa. What do you think's going to happen now?
It dropped.
It dropped to the ground, and is something going to come out of the pupa?
Moth.
Moth, yeah. Okay, so the caterpillar has changed or turned into a moth inside the pupa. Here it comes. Wow. What kind of moth is it? Here it comes slowly. Oh, I can see its antennae.
Wait.
I can see its legs. Wow. Here it is. Now, you probably don't know the name of this moth, but it has a special name. It looks like a big cat because it has different colored fur.
It wings look like a cow color.
It does look like a cow color, you're right. Okay. But we call this moth the tiger moth because of the colors.
Like the tiger butterfly.
It does look like a butterfly, you're right. It looks a bit like a monarch butterfly, doesn't it? Oh, and now it's pumping water into its wings, so its wings are slowly getting harder and bigger. Sorry? Say again,
I
my
just
girl.
now said the cow. I just now said the cow wings getting bigger.
They are getting bigger, yeah. Okay, the tiger moth is getting ready to fly.
Now it's orange and dark blue.
Yeah, it's orange, dark blue, brown, and white. And it has stripes on its wings, just like a tiger has stripes on its bodies.
Yeah. And
that's why we call it the tiger moth. Wow. So we're going to learn about the tiger moth a little bit later. I'm going to learn all about the tiger moth and why it's so furry, because it was quite a furry moth. Can you see how furry it is? Look how furry it is. Very, very furry. It's so furry. Okay. So that was the moth life cycle. And all animals have a life cycle. What is the life cycle for a human? Can you tell me? When we are young, we are
in mommy's tummy.
Yeah, we're in mummy's tummy, and then mummy gives birth to a big tall person or a little. When you came out of your mummy's tummy, were you as big as you are now, or were you much smaller?
Much smaller.
That's right, you were a baby, yeah? So our life cycle begins as a baby. And then slowly, what do we grow into? Are you a baby now? No. Slowly we grow into a boy or a girl, yeah? And then what happens? Then we grow and grow and grow some more. And what do we become?
A woman or a man.
Yeah, we become a woman or a man. And then a woman can have more babies. So the cycle goes on and on and on. And we call this the life cycle. So here is the moth's life cycle. Where does the cycle begin? Well, it begins over here.
Yeah.
What are they?
Caterpillar.
They're eggs, aren't they?
Larva caterpillars.
And then the caterpillars. And we call that larvae. Yeah, larvae.
I thought it's larva.
Well, one larva or many larvae. Okay, so we have one larva and many larvae. Wow. And then the caterpillars get really fat. They eat all the leaves.
And it becomes a pupa or a
It
cocoon.
does. It becomes a pupa, and we can call that a cocoon. Okay, the pupa is inside the cocoon.
Then it turns into a moth.
Then it turns into a moth. That's right.
Fly, fly, fly.
It flies away and it has more babies and lays more eggs, and the cycle goes on and on and on. So that's a lovely life cycle. But all animals have a life cycle. Eggs, caterpillars, pupa, moth, and more eggs. And so it goes on. Wow. What animals can you see here?
A frog.
A frog, yeah. Look at the frog life cycle.
It turns into eggs.
Yeah.
And
The frog lays eggs, yeah.
then it turns into a...
What's a baby frog called?
Wait, I need to go to the toilet.
Oh, okay. See you in a second, yeah. Okay. So do you remember we were looking at the frog, yeah? And the frog laid some eggs. And then the eggs became baby frogs. And we have a name for a baby frog.
Oh,
Good. A tadpole. And then slowly the tadpole grows legs. When it first is born, it's almost like a fish. It has no legs. It just has a tail to swim with. And then it grows legs, 2 legs. And then it grows 4 legs. Isn't it cute?
then it turns into a frog.
And then it turns into a frog. Did you ever?
But then it got lost. It lost a part. The tail will
Yes. The tail will fall off. Yeah.
fall off. The
Yeah.
tail will be shorter, 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 shorter.
Yes, sorry, it won't fall off. The tail will become shorter and shorter and shorter until it has no tail.
Yeah.
Because it has legs now. It can swim with its legs. It doesn't need the tail. Did you ever see a tadpole in the water?
No.
No? Huh? Well, if you're ever near a pond, or
Frog.
if you're ever near a pond or some water, be careful, but have a look in the water and you might see some baby tadpoles. They're very, very cute. So that's a frog and it has a very nice life cycle. Let's look over here. What about fish?
Fish. It.
Yeah.
Look, it eggs. Then
It lays eggs, yeah.
it will fry and adults.
Yeah, that's quite easy, isn't it? Okay, so the fish lays eggs.
It's such short time.
Yeah, the fish lays eggs and then the eggs just become fry. By fry, we mean little baby fish. And then they become big fish, adult fish.
Then it turns into 1 year old, 2 year old, 3 year old, 4 year old.
Well, not yes, usually, but sometimes it might get eaten by a bigger fish.
Sharks.
Yes, sharks love to eat. They love to eat small fish, don't they? So those are life cycles. So, Blanca, can you tell me about the life cycle of a different animal or another living thing? Can you choose an animal and tell me about its life cycle?
Hmm.
You can choose any animal. How about like a dog or a cat or a bear?
I don't know the life cycle of a bear, a dog, or a cat.
Oh, maybe I can tell you. Well, let's look at a dog. Yeah. So the mummy dog, she gives birth. She gives birth to a baby dog, and a baby dog we call a puppy.
Yeah, a puppy.
Yeah.
A puppy.
And the puppy eats and plays and runs and slowly grows bigger and bigger and bigger and becomes an adult dog. Yeah. It can be a mummy dog or a daddy dog. And then if it's a mummy dog, it can have more babies. And so the life cycle continues. So every animal has a life cycle.
A kitten. Then a cat.
Yes, you're right. Mummy cat has kittens and they become adult cats too.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's the first?
What's the first picture? That's a picture of the moth's head. But you can see it's very furry.
The second one was the second animal.
It's another moth. So this is a moth. This is a moth. And this one is a little moth on somebody's finger. You can see the finger here. Yeah.
Yeah, and its butt.
You can see its butt. It's red and black butt. You're right. But what you notice is these three moths are very, very furry.
Yeah.
A butterfly isn't furry. So,
like a bear.
like a bear. They're furry like a bear. So why are they so furry? Do you have any ideas? Why are moths so furry? Can you guess?
At night it's a little cold. So the moth needs fur to break so it will get warm.
You're absolutely right.
It don't have any blankets.
He doesn't have any blankets, and he doesn't have a coat, and he doesn't have a scarf, and he doesn't have a hat.
Or
So-
it don't have a it don't have a
What doesn't it have?
Wait, I'll show you.
Okay, show me.
A jacket.
It doesn't have a jacket. Yeah, no blanket, no coat, no jacket, no hat, no scarf. So, yes, you're right. The first reason moths are so furry is because they come out at night and it can be quite cold. So you got that absolutely right. So that's the first reason. But there is another reason. And we're going to look at the other reason today. Okay. So you thought of one very good reason. It's cold at night. But there's another reason. And in a few minutes, we'll find out. But first, let's look at this food web. Here are the animals that eat other animals. Can you find the moth?
Yeah, I can. I can.
Where is it?
I can.
Is this the moth?
No.
That's the
The
lady.
ladybird.
Should I go up or should I go right?
Right.
Yeah. Here is the moth. Now, the
Black and
arrow.
white moth.
The arrows tell us which animals eat the moth. Can you tell me which animals eat the moth?
It's moth.
Yes, the bat
What?
eats the moth.
I say plant eat moth.
I think the moth, can you see the arrow is going from the plant to the moth? I think this means that the moth eats the plant. It likes to eat the leaves, yeah?
Oh. The owl. An owl. An owl.
Is there an arrow from the moth to the owl?
No.
Which arrows go from the moth?
The
There's a-
spider. The
Yes. The spider, the bat, and there's one more.
This. What's this?
This is a little bird.
Blue what? Blue what? Because
The blue tit.
What?
The blue tit.
it
This is a blue tit. So little birds, many little birds eat moths. An example is the blue tit. So here we can see there are three bigger animals, little birds, bats, and spiders that like to eat the moths. And there's a reason why moths are so furry. It's to stop these animals eating them. Wow. But how do they
when they eat they eat the fur.
Maybe it's difficult to eat the fur. Yeah, that's a good idea. So let's find out, how does the fur help the moth to stop being eaten? So we found out that bats, blue tits, and spiders prey on the moths. They are the moth's predators. Well, first, let's think about blue tits. We know blue tits like to eat moths. How can moths stop blue tits from eating them? Well, I have a question for you. What's the natural predator of blue tits? Which animal likes to eat little birds?
Owl. An owl.
Yes, the big owl with its beautiful big eyes. Owls like to eat blue tits. So do you think a blue tit is scared of an owl? If a little bird sees an owl, do you think it will fly away?
Yes.
Yes, of course. So if a moth looked like an owl, would a blue tit dare to eat the moth, or would it fly away?
Fly away.
It would fly away. It would say, oh no, here comes a big owl. It's going to eat me.
But moths are smaller than owl.
They are. Look at this little boy. He's just a little boy. but he looks scary. Why does he look scary?
Because he wear I think a uniform.
Yes, he's wearing a uniform or a costume. He's wearing a Halloween costume.
Yeah, a Halloween costume.
So he looks like a monster. He doesn't look like a little boy. Okay. Is he a monster? Not really. He's just a little boy. So this is a special word. Can you read this word?
Think this little boy is too funny to me.
He's quite funny, yeah. So he's mimicking a monster. Okay. And when we mimic something, we change how we look to look like something else. If you saw this little boy, would you be scared?
No.
No. He's only playing, it's only pretend. But look at this moth. If you were a blue tit, do you think this moth would look scary?
Yes.
Yeah. Why?
Because it looks like a
It looks like a big owl because it has two big eye spots.
But-
They're not real eyes.
are not bigger than owl.
Yes, it's only small, but the eye spots are just as big as an owl's eyes. And from a long way away, a little bird would think, oh no, that's an owl, yeah, because it can just see the big eyes, the big eye spots.
Eye spots.
Yeah, so it's a trick. So that we call this mimicking. It's mimicking.
Fly down. It looks like an owl upside down.
It does look like an owl upside down, you're right. So
Now it doesn't look like a down owl. If it is upside down, it does look like an owl.
So, look at these moths. How do you think they scare away blue tits and spiders?
The look like wasps.
Yes, two of them look like wasps.
So these birds won't eat them.
They won't eat them. They'll think, "Oh God, it's a big wasp. It will sting me." So these two look like wasps, but these two have they have very, very bright colors, orange colors, and this is because they are poisonous. Do you know what poisonous is?
Yeah.
Poisonous means if you eat them,
You have a stomach ache.
yeah, you get a big tummy ache.
Stomach
Okay.
ache.
So the orange color is a warning. It says, "Don't eat me. I'm poisonous." So that's how the moths stop being eaten by birds and spiders. But remember,
But the spiders eat wasps.
yes, some spiders eat wasps. Yes, you're right. But they prefer to eat moths or other insects.
Because the wasp will the stinger very powerful.
Yeah. So if the spider's very hungry, it will eat a wasp. But if it can choose between a wasp and a different insect, it probably won't eat the wasp because the wasp can sting it. So we know now that moths can escape birds and spiders, but there's one more animal that likes to eat moths. What other animal likes to eat moths?
The bat.
The bats. Bats love to eat moths because they both live at night. Now, this moth is the tiger moth. Do you remember?
Yeah.
tiger moth. It has bright colors for the daytime so that birds don't eat it. But do you think a bat can see these colors at night?
But bat's eyes is not so good.
You're right. A bat doesn't have good eyes,
That's
and
what it's yours to
it
listen.
uses its ears. Yes. So a bat doesn't have good eyes, and it's nighttime. There's no way a bat would know not to eat this moth. So if a bat doesn't see its prey, how does a bat hunt? What does it use?
It's yours to listen to flapping.
It uses its ears to listen to flapping. It also does one more thing.
Super good.
It has very good ears. But also, the bat sends out sounds. It shouts out sounds. Hello! And it listens to the sound coming back. And from that, it can tell where other things are. So a bat hunts with sound. It sends out sound and can find moths when the sound bounces back off the moth. Here's a picture to help us understand. So, what does the bat do? Well, here's the bat, and the yellow shows the bat makes a big sound. A click, click, click sound. It sends out the sounds, and when the sounds hit the moth, they bounce back. They bounce back all the way back to the bat and says, the bat says, I know where the moth is. I just heard where it is. And that's how it hunts the moth. So, what can the moth do to stop the bat hearing it? Do you have any idea?
No.
No? Well, let me show you. Let's look at this.
As the bat homes in, its squeaks speed up.
Let's see the moth. Let's see the moth.
Oh no! So, Langer, how did the bat catch the moth? What did it do?
It's yours. And
Yes.
the moth is right behind.
It made little click, click, clicking noises and then used its ears to say, where is the moth? Because the sound bounces back off the moth. Very clever, isn't it? Let's watch one more time.
As the bat homes in, its squeaks speed up.
The moth is right behind.
Oh no! Oh dear, that moth is the bat's dinner. So how can a moth stop the bat catching it? Wow. Look at this room. What's on the walls of the room?
What's that shape?
Yes, special shapes. They are special shapes, okay? And this makes the room very quiet because the shapes soak up all the sound, yeah? When we make a sound in this room, the sound doesn't bounce off the walls, yeah? The walls.
Where is this room?
This is a sound studio. This is where people make music. Because when people make music, when they play the guitars, it's very important that it's very quiet. So this is a sound studio. Well, the moth has lots of fur on its body. And it's very similar to this room. yeah, the fur soaks up all the bat sounds. So when the bat sends out its sounds, the fur means that the moth is very quiet and the bat doesn't hear the moth. Does that make sense?
That's just not that, Mom. Does it have fur?
Yes, it does have fur. So although the fur helps the moth to be quiet, it doesn't always work because the bat is a very good hunter. But the fur helps the moth, but it doesn't mean that the bat can't catch it because bats are very good hunters. So the reason moths are furry is because it helps them to be quiet. Yeah, it helps them to be quiet, and so the bats can't hear them. But tiger moths are very clever. They make a sound like a bat, and this frightens the bat away. The bat thinks, oh no, it's another big bat. Let's listen to this. Yes, it makes a big bat sound, and so it tricks the bat. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
It's making a bat sound.
Wait.
It runs away.
Wait.
Or it flies away.
Like
Making just the same same
How
sound.
does it do it?
Ah, well, it clicks its wings. It has special wings to make a clicking sound. And the bat thinks, oh no, it's a big bat. So the tiger moth is very clever. It tricks the bat. Wow. Okay, so Langa, do you have any questions about moths?
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to ask about that we talked about today? No? Oh, it's 8:30. It's quite late. So let's have a quiz. Yeah, let's have a quiz all about moths. True or false? Number one. What do you think, Langa? Is this a moth?
True.
True. You're right. It's a very colorful moth. Hooray, we got one right.
Like a tiger moth.
It does look like a tiger moth. Number two, moths and butterflies are the same.
No, butterflies and moths are the same.
Oh, sorry, butterflies and moths are the same. What do you think?
Oh.
It is false. They're similar, but they are different in many ways. Number three, this moth uses mimicry to look like a snake.
True.
It is true. This is mimicry when they look like a different animal. Number four, bats are natural predators of moths.
What's natural means?
Natural means it's something they like to do every day. So natural means what they do normally. Do bats like to eat moths?
True.
It is true, yes. Bats are natural predators of moths. Number five is a difficult question. Well, we've got them all right so far. Moths are furry to soak up bat sounds. The bat clicks. The sounds bats make to find prey.
True.
It is true. Whoa, Langa, you got 100. Wow, I don't believe that. You did so well. Okay, so I hope you found out that moths are very interesting animals. I think they're great. Okay, well, it is time for our quiz.
Yeah, already have a quiz about true and
Yes, but this is the fun one. Here we get to match the pictures. Okay. So this is more like a game. Okay. So we're going to play some games here all about moths. Just 2 games today. And for this, I'm going to give you control. Okay. So let me first.
last week's.
Like last week. And hopefully this time there aren't any problems with my quizzes. Okay. So I'm going to give you control. Let me share my screen. Okay. And now I'm going to give you control. So now you should be able to move. You should be able to move the mouse. You're right. Could you click on number 2? There we go. So we've got 4 pictures and 4 words for the life cycle. Could you move the words into the 4 places? Yes, in that box there.
The moth.
That's the moth.
The pupa. Where is the pupa?
There is the pupa. Okay, we've got 2 more.
I know.
Long caterpillar. Yeah, that looks right. So there's 1 more. Those are the eggs. Oh, they've all turned blue. Can we see if they're right? Hooray!
Oh,
You got 4 out of 4. That's really good. So that's the life cycle. Let's try our close test.
3.
Oh, this is more difficult. We have to move the words into the boxes. Moths have natural predators. Yeah, that seems right. Which predator is a bird? Ah, yeah. Blue tits are birds. They hunt moths. What else hunts moths? Spiders have 8 legs. They hunt moths too. Which predator hunts moths using sound? Bats hunt moths using sound. Moths are furry to soak up the bat clicks. This way the moths can escape the bats. How do you do? Hey, 5 out of 5. Can you click on the star? Let's click on the star and see how you did. Whoa, Lanka, you got full marks. And we talked about some very, very exciting and difficult things today. So I think you did very, very well. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to... Can I just use the mouse? Okay, there we go. Cool. Oh. Great. Okay, so that was pretty good, wasn't it? Now then, you got full marks, Langer. That was really, really good. Okay, so today we learned about 2 things, really. We learned all about the life cycle of a moth, didn't we? And here we can see the life cycle. Oh, here it comes, the baby caterpillar.
Baby.
So furry.
Yeah, super.
Here he comes. He's going to eat all the leaves and get big and fat. Become a pupa.
No, it's orange and black.
It is. It's a very, very colorful caterpillar.
Changing. Eating the leaves.
Here it is eating the leaves, getting big and fat.
Bigger and fatter and bigger and fatter and bigger and fatter. Ooh.
Oh, and now it's making a cocoon. Slowly the pupa is made. And what comes out of the pupa?
The moth.
Beautiful, beautiful moth with 4 big wings.
The tiger moth.
I think this is a tiger moth. You're right, yeah.
Yeah, the same video we saw.
It is the same video. It's nearly finished. I've got one more video to show you. So this is the first thing we learned about the life cycle. It's quite slow coming out, isn't it? Because it's very difficult to get out. Oh, I better move.
Whoa.
And there he is. There is the tiger moth. Can you see his wings becoming harder?
Yeah, harder.
Ready to fly.
Now it will fly away, I think.
It will fly away, yeah. That's so furry. Okay. And over here, do you remember what we saw here?
Yeah.
Here comes the bat, a natural predator of the moth.
Moth. Where's the moth? I see the moth. Got it.
And this moth was not so lucky. Although it's very furry, and that fur helps it to stay very quiet, still the bat caught it. Oh no. Poor little moth. Fly away. Too late.
I never seen a bat before.
Did you never see a bat at night?
I seen before a bat.
Ah,
It's my playground. It's my playground.
in your playground. Ah. Is the playground in your community, in your neighborhood?
It's near my house.
Very good. Wow. Okay, so we often see bats at night.
There has a tree and garden, and the garden is there, and I think the tree is the bat's home.
Where did you see the bat? In the tree or in the garden?
In the tree, the
In the
bat.
tree.
I think 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock.
Wow. That's very early, isn't it? But maybe it was already a little dark, you know?
And the bats fly around the tree looking for some moths.
Well, it's very clever. It knows the insects live on the tree, doesn't it? It thinks, I know where to find my dinner. This tree will have lots of tasty insects.
Yeah.
So it knows where to look for its dinner. Okay. So today we learned all about moths. And can you guess what we're going to learn about next lesson?
I know.
You
Wow.
know? Wasps. Yeah. We're going to learn about...
But next week, can we learn about hornets?
Hornets. Maybe we can learn about wasps and hornets together.
Oh,
Yeah.
next week. Next week.
Yeah, we'll learn maybe wasps we'll learn about on Wednesday or Thursday. And
Okay.
hornets we can learn on Saturday, yeah?
Yeah. Hornet and wasp are similar.
Yes, moths and butterflies are similar. And hornets and wasps are very, very similar. But they are a little bit different. And we'll look maybe at how they are different.
Yeah.
Because we know how they're similar.
Hornets are bigger than wasps, right?
Usually hornets are bigger than wasps, yeah. And
You know, I seen before a hornet versus a wasp.
yes, who do you think would win?
I think the wasps is smaller than the hornets. I think the wasp one is the wasp is the wasp is the wasp hive got uh um got a bigger family than
There
the
are more wasps. Yeah. Okay. So
more
we'll look at that.
hornets. And
We'll see.
the,
Although the hornets are bigger, maybe there are more wasps to fight.
the hornets the hornet's hive is next to the wasp's hive. So the hornet fly to the wasp. One hornet fly to the wasp's hive. So then the wasp saw it. Then it began to fight. then the hornet entered the wasp's nest. So there are more and more wasps. So the hornet died, and more hornets came.
I see. So you're saying both animals can work together to defend themselves. They can use teamwork. So we're going to look at two things.
Like the ant.
Yes, that's what we're going to look at. We're going to look at teamwork, okay? And we're going to look at when wasps and hornets fight, do they use teamwork? And do sometimes the stronger animals lose because they don't use teamwork? And then we're going to look at Japanese giant wasps attacking. They're very big, and they attack an ant's nest or an ant's colony. And although there are many, many thousands of ants and only 10 Japanese giant wasps, actually, the ants all die, even though the ants use teamwork.
Why?
Well, we'll find out next lesson. It's quite interesting, isn't it?
Because the giant Japanese wasp is so much bigger than the ants. So then I think so they can kill 50 ants
Each, yes, per hour. Maybe you've seen this. Okay, so you already know this one. Okay, well, we'll look at that and we'll.
Never seen it.
Well, we'll find out. Is the ants' teamwork sometimes enough? Some different ants use different teamwork to stop the giant wasps, and other ants don't use enough teamwork. And we'll find out which ants can win in that battle. I think it's quite interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Can win.
Sometimes the ants can win, but I'm not going to tell you the answer now. We're going to find out next lesson. Okay. But before then, maybe you could try and find out the answer for me. Which ants can win against giant wasps? And which ants can lose?
I don't know if my YouTube has that video.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I will find the video for us, yeah? Okay. So, Langa, it's time for me to go. Because we've had a very long lesson. Do you know how long our lesson has been? It's been 1 hour and 15 minutes.
What?
You've listened. Yes. You've listened so carefully and you've had such good ideas that we've had such a long lesson. Amazing, yeah? Okay. So do you have any questions about moths?